Happening APLers here with a week 6 review show. So a lot's happened in week 6 that will probably have an impact going forward for the season. Lots of injuries. We'll kind of highlight them as we go through. But we'll get started with the Jake and Corey matchup here. So we had a low scoring affair here between Jake and Corey. Both quarterbacks performed pretty well. Mahomes 377 against the Broncos is maybe a little less than Corey was hoping for, but still solid. Another good outing from Mahomes. Dak put up plenty against the Chargers last night, 373 there. For the rest of Jake's lineup, it kind of really didn't show up. CMC got hurt, which sucks for everybody. It's fun to watch that dude play. Amari DiMercato got the most snaps of any running back for the Cardinals, but not the most touches and doesn't really look like he's going to be the dude there going forward. So his 18 points were definitely underwhelming there. Chase was fine, 86. We're probably hoping for more. T. Higgins kind of invisible again. And DJ Moore had Fields and whatever the Bears backup quarterback was throwing him the ball. So it didn't help. And then Kittle had the Valley game for Kittle there with 3 points. Tyler Bass missed field goals, and IDP's crushed for Jake. But overall, pretty underwhelming week, disappointing week for Jake there at 806. Hopefully, there's better things to come. On Corey's side, you got 903 for the point total, so it's not great, but you got a few more hits there than Jake to come out with the win. So Pacheco was good against the Broncos again, probably the same as Mahomes. Hope for more there against that terrible lineup, but 104 is fine. Josh Jacobs against the Patriots is fine at 95. Nothing else is really noteworthy here for Corey. Did see Evan Ingram was on the bench. He had a decent game, like 90 points or so over Cole Kmet. Kmet's been doing well lately, but that Bears Vikings game kind of went weird too. So not much more to say. Corey moves to 3-3. Jake moves to 3-3 on the year here, and thought Corey would win in a tight one, and Corey won in a pretty close one, but a little wider margin we thought. So next matchup here, Greg's getting some stuff from Jalen Hurts here. He was the high scorer here for Greg. So Greg takes on Daggy. I did get a text from Greg early in the day on Sunday that said, I'm going to lose to Daggy. And I said, don't worry, Hurts and Goddard will take care of you. And Goddard didn't so much, but Hurts did. So Greg retools his team in a week and adds in Henry, Mixon, and Olave into his lineup. But he did a nice job with the trade there, getting some stuff for JJ to get some wins now, which is definitely what he needs. He doesn't have time to wait for JJ to come back. So got some good value for stuff there, and those guys contributed this week. $135 from Henry and 103 from Olave is good. Kicking game was crushing for Greg too, with 142 from Mar there against the Cardinals. Jalen Hurts did his thing against the Jets. Tough D there to get 365 points. So 146 or 1,046 for Greg. Solid total for the week. Probably hoping for some more from Mixon and that. So on the Daggy side, you got Stafford. Again, he was hyped for a big week this week, and they just didn't need to pass that much. Second half turned into the Kyren Williams show. Zach Moss continued to be good. Dalvin was started. We'll talk about that one later. There's got to be somebody better in the league to start than Dalvin at this point. Daggy's receivers were fine. Probably hope for more from Addison against the Bears there, as kind of the number one for the Vikings now. Pitts looks like he's got some game 2 weeks in a row there with decent point totals, but just shy of 900 there for Daggy. So Greg gets the win. I thought Greg would win by 142. Greg won by 148. Greg moves to 2-4, and Daggy's at the 0-6 on the season. Next matchup here is Ryan versus me. So there's the newly added Cooper Kupp to Ryan's lineup. He has a nice game. So Ryan rolls with Burrow over Cousins, and I guess I don't remember if Cousins had more or less than 243, but an underwhelming game from Burrow, but it doesn't matter because Mostert crushed the Panthers as expected for 195 points. Cooper Kupp is himself all over again with 175. Adam Thielen comes over in the Greg trade. Maybe a guy that Greg still wishes he had, but Thielen puts up 146. Debo goes out early, hurt. But other than that, everybody's pretty solid here. Got almost 100 out of the kicker. The IDPs were great with big scores. Ryan puts up 1185. And I have all my guys going on Sunday night and Monday night, and they can't muster enough to get the come from behind victories. So Josh Allen is the big letdown here with 229 points. So you're hoping for 229 at halftime, not at the end of the game. So if he has a normal game, I feel a lot better here with the rest of the totals. So James Cook is fine at 71, kind of what you're expecting, maybe a little bit more against the terrible Giants defense, but it's not how it worked. Ken Walker was fine. Wide receivers were great. Tight end continues to suck ass. And the IDPs were a little worse than normal there. So I come up with 1,032 for the week. And you're not going to win a lot of games when your quarterback and tight end put up 260 points. So it's not going to help. So Ryan gets a win, moves to 4-2. I dropped to 5-1. I thought Ryan would win this one real close, and Ryan wins by more than real close. 153-point win there. Next, there's the man. You can see the mustache through the helmet. The mustache is so weird. I don't really like it. I wonder if Taylor really likes it. But anyway, he set the tone on Thursday night. 257 points for a tank. Throw on 350 from Geno. Another good ETN game. Kamara doing his thing for 111, and then Diggs doing his thing, and it's looking like a good week for Tank. So 1248 for Tank there. Get another 100 out of the kicker. Aiden Hutchinson probably the lowest spot, which is a good thing. Kind of thought Devonta Smith would go nuts this week. Thought he would be the kind of the squeaky wheel getting greased this week, but he wasn't, especially with the Jets cornerbacks all out. So thought there'd be more there, but a lowest spot in the 1248 there. So Ross, David Montgomery gets hurt. It's still not going to make a difference in the week there, but sucks overall. Pollard did some stuff last night, had the big 60-yard reception there for a bunch of points. AJ Brown continues to crush. Lamar is just fine at 316, throwing to Andrews. Andrews good again with 142, and then Jake Elliott at this first bad week of the year. I throw another 100 points on Jake Elliott there, and Monty not getting hurt, and maybe Ross competes in this one, but that's not how it worked. Take moves to 5-1. Did think he'd win this one. I think this is a lock of the week. Take ends up winning by 209 instead of the 132. So drops Ross to 2-4. Today is the next big matchup here. Kyron Williams didn't have much going at halftime. Second half was a different story. Ran wild. So, today goes into or gets a big 177 out of Butker on Thursday night. It's a nice start to the week. And then he had a bunch of stuff going late. He had those Rams dudes with Puka Nacua and Kyron going late. Nacua dropped a touchdown. Didn't do too much there, but Kyron just, as I said, crushed in the second half. Waller gets 91 on Sunday night, and then the Chargers guys get enough on Monday night to put 1129 up for today. Another great week. And gets the win. Solomon's team struggles here. Trevor Lawrence just not getting it done. Had a nice matchup against the Colts, but they're just ahead like the whole game, so they didn't need to throw. So Lawrence puts up 246. Chuba looked really good. Thought that he might be the weak point for Solomon, but he wasn't. One of the highest points with 111. Bijan, it's just he's really good. Just not getting the ball enough. Ridley kind of has the peaks and valleys like Kittle. And this week was not a peak, despite crushing the Colts in week one. Solomon doesn't start Amari Cooper this week with PJ Walker at quarterback, and Amari was actually okay. He had 112. So maybe that's a good sign for the future that Amari can produce without Deshaun back there, but it wouldn't have made a difference if he's in the lineup this week over Josh Reynolds. Garrett Wilson seems to be okay still. Zach Wilson throwing the ball. Hawkinson, I mean, he's solid, but it still just seems like a little bit of a disappointment each week. especially as a Viking fan watching him where he's dropping some passes that you think he can get. But I just guess I thought there would have been more so far. So thoughts today would have won this one by 126. He comes out with a 222-point win, move himself to 2-4, and Solomon, or move himself to 4-2. Solomon at 2-4. So we'll take a look at the top scorers this week and some of the awards. I thought this was interesting looking at this. So these are the top guys for the week: Mahomes and Kelsey in the same game, and then Mostert and Tyreek in the same game here too. I thought the Tyreek backflip in the end zone was kind of a cool celebration. Grab the dude's phone and does that. Gets flagged for it. He'll get fined by the NFL, but NFL Twitter handle had that video up within 10 minutes of it happening. So they like it, but they'll still fine you for it. So top scores for the week. Scores are down a little bit overall from what we've seen in spots other than Kelsey, but Mahomes at 377, Mostert 195, Tyreek 189, and Kelsey with 257. The low scores for the week: Josh Allen 229, Dalvin at 15, Debo 11. He got hurt. That contributes to that. And then Kittle for 3. So go for the weekly awards here. For the MVP, I went with Kelsey. 257 is just a big number to put up at tight end. And it was on Thursday, so Kevin had felt like he lost before the week had even started. Rod of the week definitely goes to Josh Allen. 229 of that dude's not good. It's not enough. The no shit award was a little bit of a struggle to find somebody here. I went with Zach Moss. Dagy's starting him because he's the highest scoring running back on his team, but you're expecting Jonathan Taylor to take over, so maybe you don't feel like you should start him. But Dagy did. Kind of doesn't have any other options, but still. I wouldn't do that. Dalvin Cook was another starter for Dagy. He hasn't been good all year, so there's got to be somebody better anywhere than Dalvin. I should have done that. Dalton Schultz for Jake over Kittle. Schultz had like 142, 146 points. Looks like he's become a very trusted target from CJ Stroud. Jake has that stack too if he wants to roll with that. So throw Schultz in the lineup and Jake gets the win. Would have been good at Shamrock is Ross. He had the 5th highest point total of the week and came up with the loss. So as my voice is falling apart, we're reaching the end here. Looking at the standings over in Jake's division, Tank has the top spot all to himself. His point total is increasing each week. Sade and Ryan tied there for second with a record, but Sade right now is a tiebreaker with the 2-1 division win. Maybe the win over Ryan too. I don't remember if they played yet. I probably should have looked at that, but I didn't. But those two there at the 2-3 spot, and then Jake won back at the 3 with the 3-3 record in the 4th spot. Point total is a little worse than those guys, but still expecting it to be a good race to the finish there between those 4 guys. Down in Greg's division, I dropped to 5-1, a 2-game lead over Corey, who gets a win to move to 3-3 this week. And then you got Kevin, Solomon, and Greg all jammed up there at 2-4. And right now that 3-way tie goes all down to points. So Kevin, Solomon, and Greg is how it shakes out right now, but still a lot of football left to see how that's all going to work. So week 7 matchups. Today gets Dagy this week. Dagy loaded up on all the hot free agents tonight, so see if he can put up more than the 900 points or so he's been doing for the last few weeks. Tank versus Ryan is a big old matchup over in that division. Be fun to see those two teams go together or go at it. I like Ryan's roster too with the trade from Greg. I think he adds Cooper Kupp and then is able to add JJ for the playoffs and gives up some stuff that probably would help him win now, but he's had some depth to absorb it. So I think that it all depends on what happens with JJ. But looking good. Solomon and Jake, also an important matchup for both these guys. Both these guys need wins. And both the teams have question marks on them right now, so it'll be fun to watch. I get Greg. Greg has a week 7 bye-week gauntlet this week where he's just trying to find guys that are playing this week to start. But he has done a nice job of acquiring Packers that play the Broncos this week. So that seems like it's been a good bet so far this year. And Greg does a pretty decent job of finding matchups to work and finding guys to put in the lineup. So we'll see how that goes. And then Corey versus Kevin, another one I'm looking forward to this week to kind of maybe shape how our division looks for the rest of the year. If Ross gets a win here, it makes it really interesting between him, Greg, Corey, and Solomon. So I thought that waivers were interesting tonight. I got Sade loaded up, got the backup to Kyron for $38. What else? What else happened? Kevin got the backup for David Montgomery for pretty cheap, and Daggy loaded up on like everybody else that was left. He's got the San Francisco running backs cornered there, so I'm trying to load up for more of a fire sale. That's interesting. So appreciate everybody's activity, and it's just fun. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully my voice works better over the weekend, and I'll be reaching out to you guys for content for the week 7 preview show. Talk to you later. Bye.